Well, greetings, people of the internet. Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, we're going to virtualize Windows 11, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. Differently? We're going to do Windows 11 virtually differently? What does that even mean? Well, we're going to be putting it on VMware Workstation. I'm going to show you how to get it installed and get it set up and configured so that, one, you can use TPM on it, and two, you can use Secure Boot. There are ways around that, but I'd rather show you the legit way to install it. Now, we're going to be installing it on VMware Workstation 16. Now, why am I obsessed with running Windows 11 virtually? Well, there are several reasons. The workstation I'm using here is running Windows 11. It's on a Ryzen 5 2600. I had my bench unit running Windows 11, but went back to Windows 10 for other reasons. I've got Windows 11 set up as a virtual machine under Hyper-V. So why do I want to have another unit running Windows 11 virtually? Well, I really don't want to make changes to my production Windows 11 machine, and I really don't want to have to fire up my Dell servers just to run a virtual copy of Windows 11 to play around with it, or with some of the software, tweaking software that's out there, etc. So I got that Ryzen 5 3600, which is my daily driver, with a fairly good NVIDIA GTX, I think it's a 1650 video card in there. So why not just run it on there? And why not run it under VMware 16, VMware Workstation 16? I have a VMUG subscription, so I get, for $200 a year, I get all their software and I can try it. I'm moving away from ESXi, but for virtualizing on Windows 10, I find that VMware Workstation offers really some nice benefits that maybe Hyper-V doesn't offer. You would think I'd be running Hyper-V on here and running running Windows 11 virtually in a Hyper-V machine, but no, because I also have some requirements for Linux virtual machines, and VMware Workstation gives you the ability to emulate like 3D rendering on a video card, that kind of thing. So that's why I tend to lean toward VMware Workstation on my Windows 10 desktop, my daily driver. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So anyway, so what I've done today, and what I'm going to show you, is how I install Windows 11 as a virtual machine under VMware Workstation 16. I'll show you what version I use. I'll show you how to use TPM on there, and I'll show you how to use Secure Boot and how I set all that up. And then when we're done with that, we're going to examine a couple of tweaking tools that I've come across for Windows 11 that I wanted to share with you and get your kind of thoughts on. So without me blathering on any longer, let's get to that video right now. All right, so our goal is to build a Windows 11 virtual machine on my actual daily driver workstation. So one important thing to keep in mind is I just upgraded my VMware Workstation, and it is up to version 16.2.1 build blah 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 blah. So we're going to use the wizard, and we're going to do a typical install. Click on next, and then I'm going to point it to the ISO file I have for Windows 11. I have it on my Scratch folder on my C drive. Your location is going to be wherever you have that file. And you can see it's still not going to properly detect what operating system it's going to install, so we're going to give it some help here. We're going to click on next. Or tell it Windows, and we're going to choose Windows 10 and later x64. Next, we'll just call this Win 11 Pro. And click on next. 60 gig hard drive is fine, but I'm going to store it as a single file. Click on next, and then I'm just going to click on finish and let it create the machine, and then we'll come back and we're going to make some edits to this machine now. So we're going to edit the virtual machine settings. Now, one that's very important that we set, if I can find it here. I'm going to bump the RAM up to 4 gig. I'm going to leave the CPUs at 2, 60 gig hard drive, NAT. I'm going to change that to bridged. USB card, let's see here. So under access control, you have to encrypt the virtual machine. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. Pick a super secret password that you won't forget, but that is secure. But I'm going to come here and I'm going to add some hardware, and that is I'm going to add the trusted platform module. Now, if you haven't enabled encryption on the virtual machine, you won't be able to add this TPM. So keep that in mind. I'm going to click on finish and then OK. Then I'm going to go out and edit it again. And now we can also come in and we can have it do a secure boot. So I think it's under options, advanced, and we're going to turn on UEFI and enable secure boot. So I'm going to tell that OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come here and power on this virtual machine. Press the space bar to boot off the DVD. And then we'll see if we can install Windows 11. Okay, get the installer up. Click on Install Now. Okay, I'm going to tell it I don't have a product key because I don't right now. Or do Windows 11 Pro, click on Next. And accept the license agreement. Do a custom install, click on Next, and let it run. So it looks like we set up the VM correctly because it is installing. So we'll let Windows 11 install and we'll come back. And you know, that's one of the great things about virtualization is you can never have too many virtual machines. So this virtual machine, virtual Windows 11, is actually running on my main workstation hardware. I also have Windows 11 in my lab with a domain controller, and I also have Windows 11 on the machine behind me, but I don't have a machine that I can just install various. In other words, I don't have a sandbox Windows 11 machine that I can just play around with and do whatever I want. So that's what I'm doing in virtualization and VMware and other. I could do it in Hyper-V as well. I could run a Windows 11 virtual machine in Hyper-V. But I just happen to have VMware handy, so I thought, why not? We'll do it here. So I'm going to go through, and as you can see, it's no slouch. I'm going to go through and get the operating system set up. Now, the reason I use VMware as opposed to just Hyper-V is because VMware has better support for Linux machines that use a graphical interface. So I get some graphics acceleration with VMware that I can't really replicate with Hyper-V. So that's why I use it, right? The right tool for the right job. But back on what benefit it gives me to run Windows 11 as a VM on my main rig is I can put anything on it I want to because it's in a virtual machine and have easy access to it, not have to spin up a whole bunch of lab servers in order to just get a Windows 11 virtual machine running. And then the machine that's behind me is tasked as my gaming unit. It's the unit that I rip DVDs and CDs and DVDs on. Did I say DVDs twice? Probably. But you get the idea. It's an actual production Windows 11 machine. So when I want to experiment with the Windows 11 interface, I do it on a virtual machine here locally, as opposed to making changes to my rig that my main production or my secondary production rig that I'm unsure what else it might change. So I can go ahead and give the machine a name. I'm going to do W11-Pro. Let's see, W11-P. Why don't we just do W11P-00 VM-001. There we go. Next. Hopefully I haven't used that name somewhere else. It's going to reboot again, and you see it's pretty zippy on the boot up. It's not bad. All right, so I'm going to set it up for work or school. And I'm going to choose sign-in options, and we're going to domain join instead. All right, so let's enter our name as Adama. And let's give it a super secret password because, you know, you need to give it a super secret password. And we're going to turn all this ancillary crap off. Checking for updates. So it's going to go ahead and set up my desktop now. That's usually what this screen means, is it's creating your local account on the machine and creating your desktop and all your shortcuts and all that. And I prefer VMware Workstation over the free version. What is that program called? The virtualization software for Windows. Not Hyper-V, but Solaris used to own it. VirtualBox, thank you. I knew it would come to me eventually, so yeah. I'm not a big fan of I'm only not a fan of VirtualBox because I don't understand it very well. It's not as easy to use as, say, VMware Workstation. Now, VMware Workstation is not free. Keep that in mind. I pay for a VMUG subscription, so $200 a year, and I get access to VMware stuff. To me, it's worth it for VMware Workstation. Alrighty, so there we go. It's up and running. Now, what I'm going to do next is down here is I'm going to tell them I'm finished installing, and then that should insert the CD, and it should come up and ask me if I want to install VMware Tools. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get our time set. We're in the central time zone. There we go. And we should see VMware. No, we don't. Let's, I thought for sure I'd see the VMware CD being installed. Let me look here. Yeah, let me install VMware Tools. All right, here we go. Now it's inserted the drive or the disk in the drive, so now we can install it. Just go through the wizard and let it install. Yep, there's the video drivers. That's good. Okay, and now we're going to restart. All right, so here we are after our first reboot. After the install of the VMware Tools, I came up here to the top and clicked Send Control-Alt-Delete to the machine. Go ahead and log in with our super secret password. And then we should be able to proceed to installing updates, getting this thing up to the current version. As you can see down here, well, you can't see it because of my face, but let me change this. But as you can see down here, it has little monitors for the hard disk, what CD drive you've got in there, the network adapter, whether you got a printer present, the sound card, etc. And you've got some various status updates down there. All right, so I'm just going to go here to the Start menu and Settings, and I'm just going to let it update until it gets all the updates done. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Task Manager as well, just so we can have that over to the side, give us an idea of how the machine is performing. There we go. And all right, so we'll let the updates run. All right, so our first set of updates are done. We'll go ahead and restart. So the object is to get get it all the way through with all of the updates. And then we can proceed on. We're going to install a couple of tweaking applications that I was turned on to by Captain Radar. He brought them to my attention over on our Discord server. I get a lot of great ideas over there from the guys on Discord. Y'all are very helpful. So I thought we'd spin up a virtual machine and give it a try and see if we like the changes it makes. And I don't know if you could hear that or not, but the audio did come through. All right, so let's be clear. This is in no way an ad for this product. I have not been compensated or contacted by the StarDock people. I have, however, been sent this link by Captain Radar over in our Discord server, and Captain Radar also helps us get our streaming configuration set up properly, so thank you, kudos. So he sent me this link, and I found this product intriguing, and so I've installed it. Now it's not expensive. It's only like $7 or $8, and if you want to put it on 5 different machines, it's like $15. So they give you some options, and it looks like they make some really other nice software as well. So I'm doing the 30-day trial. I installed it. I've activated it on this virtual machine. And so I thought I'd take you on a little tour of it. So once it installs, you'll be presented with a menu. But as you can see, I've already installed it and I don't have that menu up here. I can just simply right-click on the taskbar. And now it's added an option to configure Start 11. But we're going to concentrate on Start 11. So the first option you have here is to configure your start menu. All right. So, and they have a plethora of different designs and styles. So they've got Windows 7, they've got a modern style, they got a Windows 10 style, they got a Windows 11 style. And then to a certain extent, you can customize some of these. So if I were to turn on Windows 7 style, I just simply need to click it, and then if I come down here to my start menu, you'll see that, let's see. Yeah, we're going to do Windows 7 style, and then come down here to the start menu, and there's Windows 7. Just like we all remember it. Settings, control panel, devices and printers, shutdown, etc. And then within Windows 7, they have different styles. So they have a Windows 7 style, compact Windows 7 style will look a little bit like that. The grid Windows 7 style will look like that. And the compact grid will look like that. So you get the idea. Then you can go over and try a modern style. And yeah, all the different modern styles. And then if you want to go back to Windows 10, you can just simply go back to the Windows 10 style. And then there's some customization you can do just like you can with Windows 10. Okay, I'm just going to keep mine on the Windows 11 style. Come down here and then I can change my shortcut lists. I can add and remove them. I can customize the menu's visual appearance, the color, background texture, animations. And I can give shutdown and reboot options when connected via remote desktop. I can turn those off or on. You know, there is some customization here. So it's a pretty complete program. Same way with on the Windows 7 style. There's even more customization that can be done. Start button. I really like this feature. The only way you can use custom start buttons, though, are as if you position the start button on the left. So if we turn this off and we position the start button over there, you'll see that I can turn this little feature on here. And so now I have a neat little biohazard icon for my start image. I could pick any image I wanted to. And they give you quite a few options for start start images, so you can choose whatever you want. So not many other settings on here. I'm going to move it back to the center though. And then the taskbar, you can change your blur, transparency, and color. You can apply a theme. You can change the position of the start button. So if you don't like it in the middle, you can put it over on the left. You can control what right-clicking on the taskbar does, etc. Your taskbar size, like I prefer mine to be small, but you have small, medium, and large here. You can also do something called putting it on your secondary monitor. So if I had a secondary monitor here, I could put the taskbar on both of the monitors. Of course, you need to restart Explorer, but they have a handy little button right here to reset the Explorer. I could go under search and change any of my search settings. Control, I can control what the start button opens, the Windows key opens, the Windows key opens in full screen, and the Windows menu shortcut. And then, of course, we have an About page here where I can go get my license, go check for updates, etc. So, yeah, it's pretty cool the way this works. I'm going to go ahead and change mine to the Windows 7 style because I just kind of like that old style, you know. And I like the fact that it has applications all under one list. So let's see, do I really like that one or do I like the compact Windows style? You know, actually, I really don't mind Windows 11, to be honest with you. The way they set it up, and the beauty is I can, you know, I can customize this somewhat. So I don't know. Time will tell as to what I like best. But do I think it's worth the $6 or $7 for this program? Yeah, sure. Why not? It doesn't seem to interfere with anything else that's going on in Windows, and I like that. You know, I'm always leery of a lot of these applications that claim to tweak Windows and Windows 10 and 11, because I'm always concerned that we're going to break something underneath that normally would work, and it might introduce other problems. But time will tell on this Start 11 program, but so far I'm impressed with it. So there you go. You know, with knowledge, when you have the knowledge of what you're doing, it makes things seem pretty trivial. But a lot of research went into this video. I spent hours looking on the interwebs for other people who have gotten Windows 11 running under VMware Workstation. And it was a bit of a learning process, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And as you can see, it supports TPM. It's weird, they make you encrypt the whole virtual machine in order to get it to be compatible with Windows 11, but it is what it is. I could also try Hyper-V with Windows 11 machine, but I don't want to screw up what I've got over here. And you notice I had a couple of Linux virtual machines already set up on VMware Workstation, so it's best just to leave it the way it is. And I like VMware Workstation. So other than those initial setup items, you can see that Windows 11 runs very well. Now keep in mind, I'm running all on SSD storage here, on NVMe SSD storage, so my virtual machines are going to be very, very fast. Now I only give this virtual machine 4 gig of RAM and I think like a 40 or 50 gig hard drive, which is more than enough. And then you saw I tried a couple of tweaking utilities with Windows 11, and you saw my results on that. So, but the main benefit that this gives me is if I break the virtual machine over here on my main production machine, it's no big deal. I can spin up a new virtual machine fairly easily. It allowed me to try out some of the tweaking software that's available for Windows 11 to kind of make it look like I want it to look and function like I want it to function without jeopardizing a production unit, which is what this unit over here is. I want the whole idea behind this unit is, you know, it rips my DVDs. I play games on it. I want to keep it as stable and as vanilla Windows 11 as possible, and we'll try out new stuff on either this virtual machine over here or on our VMs, on our servers, on our Hyper-V servers. So there you go, people of the internet. We hope you found the video entertaining and informative as ever. Please give us a thumbs up down below if you liked it. Leave your comments down in the comments section. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and click that little notification bell to be notified when we have new videos coming out. Please donate if you're so inclined. PayPal, Patreon, and the YouTube join function. Thanks for coming to see us. Please don't forget to come back and see us again, and keep in mind that we'll see all of you on the other side.